Good morning, everyone. It's Trader Rob. We are live on YouTube. Let's map out what we're looking at. So I've already identified a little spot here on the ES. Well, first of all, the level I gave you guys last night on the video worked to perfection. The 67.18 zero drawdown. We then got a little bit of a reaction here this morning. I should say a big reaction at the 19s. So that was a very, very well placed level that gave you guys last night. Now, here, let's just take a look. Let me see what I can. And just nothing clean. They already took. There's a lot of volume sitting right there at the 18s, and they've already taken it. So the only other play would be down here. Let's see. Down here at this peak right here. But issue that I see is that it is in an area, again, that they could want to sweep down to take this big pocket of volume that's unbalanced right here. So it's not the greatest setup. I'm going to leave the shaded box up, and we'll kind of see with price action what happens. On the NQ, we've got two areas that I've got marked out. We've got this area down here. Let's just see. Entry would look like this. It's on the NQ. This would be our entry. So entry would look like the 24,957 and 3/4. TP1. See right there. I can delete this guy now. TP2. Huh. Nothing super clear yet on the TP2, guys, so I'm going to leave this TP1 sitting up there. Stop. At the 24,948. All right, so that's one setup we've got mapped out on the NQ for a long at the 24,957 and 3/4, targeting 24,967 with a stop at the 948s. And price action's running, so let's see what I can find up here. Yeah, this one would look something like this. Entry. Don't miss it, don't miss it, don't miss it. Just doing this. Give it a little time here. And TP1, get to 6. All right. Let's see if I got time here to map out the TP2. jump down to the NQ. And let's go down to the 1 minute. All right, now let's take a look and see what the 82s. The 75s are defended pretty well. We'll see a reaction at TP1. And it's not up to the 100s. All right, might be tough to get a confirmation here, but we'll see what we can do. Patty, good morning. Floki, good morning. Joe, good morning. Mike, good morning. Let's see what happens here. There's a big pocket sitting at the 100s. Got me a little concerned. This is where the reaction would happen at the 75s. That played out okay. Let's see them get a little stronger. Okay, now they're coming into the 85s, so I'm okay with that. Just hope they don't make a big push here for these 100s. I'd like to see some defense before that. Let's see what happens here. I'd like to see them maybe even go sweep right to the 85s. No. Don't dance around here too long. Don't dance around here. I don't like it. I definitely need to see a strong footprint confirmation. I'm not going in with a limit order here. As you guys can see, well, you guys might not be able to see it on the 1 minute, but if you drop down to the 10 or 15 second, which is what I recommend on the NQ when we get close to our entry, it's dancing around. So tapped in there. Let's see. A lot of positive delta. Okay. Why does it take so long to... No. It takes so long for my entries. I don't know why it does that. So we missed there a little bit. Let's see if we can get a push here. I'm afraid about these hundreds, to be honest with you. I am afraid with the hundreds. So let's rebalance. Missed my there you go. Beauty up 1160, just like that. Let's go. And that's what I talk about. Zero drawdown, guys. Zero drawdown. Let's go, Mike. Hopefully you got that one, bud. Talked to you about that one this morning. Let's go. On the board. All right, so let's take a... I'll leave the hundreds up there because that is going to be the pocket that they're looking for. Key, don't worry about it. There'll be more. Thanks, Folky. Dang, Mike. I want to say I've done that more than I can like to admit. Good morning, Krypton. Dr. JC, do I have an indicator for TradingView for what? For you maybe talking about the 15-minute Rob reversal? If you go onto my Discord and you go into under indicators, believe there's someone that's got a script in there. They got to give you permission into their script, but I have seen a few indicators on TradingView floating around. Honestly, with the 15-minute Rob reversal, though, if you just look at the charts for a couple days, I mean, the setups will just pop out at your really quickly. But I get it; the indicator makes it nice. But I do have the indicator. Wow, nice push. So that's where they needed to conduct their business at the 2500s. All right, let's get rid of this. Nice setup there. All right, so now let me jump to the 5-minute here. So they might have left some clues. So remember, we already mapped out this setup down here this morning, 24,957, targeting the 67. I just don't have a good TP2 right now. I might need to see this. I might need to see it once we do a retracement down. But they did leave a little pocket right here. Oh, and you know what? Let me see if I can pull up the footprint confirmation. Let me just, so you guys don't have to see this thing scrolling for pretty damn annoying. Did it? Come on. All right, there was the target entry. Ah, crap! I just deleted the line. But here, and Q. Let's put a little arrow just so you guys can see what I see. Arrow line. That right there was my confirmation. You can see where my entry came in, right? Which was a pretty decent entry. Even though I gotta say, I feel like my entries are very slow down here. I don't know why. I don't know why. I actually might have a small clue as to why, but we'll see. But here's the footprint confirmation. You got a red footprint candle with positive delta, 38 positive delta. That right there was my confirmation. And that was my entry right there. I got the entry at the 76. So I already deleted the lines from the actual setup, but that at least shows you the confirmation. All right, let's get back onto here. And let's map out this little area right here, this pocket. Hmm. 63s. What's going on at the 63s? Not much. Not much. This is a small one. And this one is a little bigger, unfortunately. This little box right here is a little bigger than what I like to see. And I don't like necessarily where it's at on the volume profile. Wish this was a little bit more down. A little bit more down. Let's break structure. Yes, it did a little bit. Not the greatest. I don't like it. I gotta say that that's not the greatest setup. I don't like that setup. Let's take a look at the ES now. Yes. What have you been doing? Morgan, I took a short on the NQ. Actually, I got the screenshot. Let me see if I can open up the screenshot here. Oh, it goes into my pictures. Screenshots. Let's throw this one up on the screen. So this was the trade. This was the setup right here. Short at the 25.082. Honestly, really nice. No drawdown whatsoever. And I don't think I was in any drawdown, to be honest with you. I got a great footprint confirmation and then targeted TP2. Just because of where my footprint confirmation came in at. What did I say it was at? 78, I think it was? Or maybe 76? Can't remember. So that was that. All right, little area here that I can map out on the ES. Who took the setups from yesterday that I left you guys with? Those are pretty nice. Oh no, that's not it. That's my levels for this morning. That's levels. Where'd it go? 1022. There you go. This is one setup I left you guys with at the 24.855. That knocked TP1. I did take that scalp there. Really small scalp that got my P&L up to 7. What was I at? What I ended up last night, or I should say yesterday, 775 for the day. And then I think we hit another setup. This was not really nice. 67.16 entry, TP1, TP2. That was a beauty. Left you guys with the level last night. Where'd it go? Oh, right here. 67.18. Tapped into it perfectly. Again, no drawdown. We almost tapped into it again this morning. That was a banger. Oh yeah, let's map this out, this ES guy right here. Now I'm hoping that it would pop up right here. Let's take a look and see in the lower time frame what's been going on. It's ugly. Let's just see if that coincides with the node right here. Does not. Don't like that. I'll leave that up right here. We'll see a reaction, but nothing that looks really good. Oh, NQ is pumping, huh? I think we got... Did we have anything to the upside on the... Oh, I got this little area. Let's see what's going on here. And what's this number? 25,289. That might have been a... That might have been an IB high sometime. What's going on here? Let's see. Man, market is ripping. Oh, I see what I was looking at, but I don't like what I see there. I don't like this pullback right here because it almost tapped in. So the entry on this one, I'll just map it out. Let's sit right there. That's probably the 50. Template load, entry. Let's delete this guy here. Stop would look something like this. Let's say 75s. TPs suck. That's my problem. I could identify an entry. I could identify a stop loss. I can't identify a good TP. That's my problem with that one. That's my issue here, unfortunately. So, in situations like this, where I've got an entry at the 25,209.50, I've got a stop loss. My only problem with this one now is that I would have to identify my TP dynamically, which means for me, as price action's coming up here, I've got to find a very quick level that's left unbalanced that I can retarget. Those are very tricky trades, and they're very tricky trades to do on a stream to allow you guys hopefully to take a similar setup. So just giving you full transparency, this would probably come very quick, maybe a little hasty. But this, I can identify a decent entry. I just don't like any take profit levels right now. So that right now for me is a C- trade because I want clear TPs, very little resistance. Did make about $900. Damn, Patty, nice job. Nice job. Let's see here. Can you tell me what you look for in volume? I would say the easiest answer to that would be, I believe in the description. I've got 3 videos posted there. If not on any of my videos that you see, like the one I posted last night, I've got a 3-video series on YouTube that covers how I find my levels, because that's the first part to the equation, how I find this. And then the second video is how I incorporate volume profile. And then the third one is how I kind of incorporate everything. And that'll get you at least on the right track. But I'm just looking for entries that have a big area of unbalanced volume, that have a very little resistance to my take profit, and my take profit areas are based on, again, areas or levels that have not been balanced out yet by the market. And then I want some level of protection between my entry and my stop loss, which again I use volume for that as well. We jump to the 15. So, who asked me that question? Kind of saucy. If you look at my volume profile over here on the left, you can see that it's a little hard, I know, because I'm on the 15, but it also shows the... If you can see, I'm coming up on the volume profile, okay, moving out to the right. So I've got an entry. I've got an area of protection right here. And then what I'm looking for is a free flow. So it's got to be coming back down. It's got to be going left into my volume profile. So again, I use the analogy of water. If you were to pour water, where are you going to get the ripples? And where is the water going to flow very, very smooth? So I want smooth water to my TP. I want a lot of ripples between my entry and my stop loss. All right, we're back to the 5-minute. So just as a, we did identify here a setup at the 24,957, targeting the 67. It's about 10 points. 9.5 points. With a stop at the 24,948. I got no clear TP2 right now, though. And then if we take a look and see at the market, what the market's looking at, or what it wants. So currently... kind of light this morning, to be honest with you. Even though there's been a big push, obviously, to the upside here. But 145s are defended. The 209, let's see. 209, 210, you're going to see a great reaction. I just don't know if I'll be able to... I don't know if I'll be able to take a trade on this one yet, but we'll see. This is going to come fast. I'm not necessarily the entry, but there's going to be a lot of moving parts here really quickly. And I'm not necessarily sure how well this is going to translate to the stream, because I like to have you guys kind of prepared. But I don't have a TP right now, so that's the issue. We will see a reaction here for sure. Well, let's see what the ES is doing. Nothing much. Nothing much. Well, the ES is just, I believe it should be going into my, yeah, it's going into my band right here. So this is my weekly bands that I give you guys every Sunday and Wednesday. Put a link in the chat if you want to get these bands emailed to you. Just go to my website, which is robstrades.com. So we'll see a hard time getting through this band for sure. That video went yesterday. I gave you guys updated bands and levels, which we had a fantastic level. I gave you guys a 67.18 yesterday. I mean, that was freaking right on the money. Right on the money. Patty, right now I'm on the ES. So I'm switching between the ES and the NQ. I might drop a watermark over the weekend. Maybe that'll be easier, but I just figure with the big dollar, the big difference between 67.57 and 25,000, that would be the distinction of the NQ and the ES. But I know visually it could help with maybe a watermark somewhere. I just don't like cluttering my screen. Well, fresh entries. No, the only thing we got right now on the, well, I shouldn't say that. On the NQ, We've got a long at the 24,957, targeting the 67. And then above me, I've got a short entry at the 25,209, but I don't have a clear TP1 or TP2 yet. Morning, Clint Eastwood. Let's see. Spencer just hit a massive daily profit by mistake. Switch over from the micros to the minis and forgot to change. Yeah, this is my thinking with Spencer. So this is my thinking on mistakes in general. We all make them. Okay. We all make trading platform mistakes. We make instrument mistakes, position sizing mistakes, no bracket order mistakes. Did that yesterday. Did that in the afternoon on that NQ scalp that I took, which is one of the main reasons I got into my entry, but I hadn't had my bracket set. So, and then that just causes a whole other thinking process. So I honestly closed for a profit, but it was more out of desperation that I didn't have my bracket orders. So mistakes are going to happen, but this is my general feeling on mistakes. And I map them on my journal, or I should say I log them in my journal. For every mistake that the market kills you on, it's also going to help you on eventually. I am a big believer of karma. I'm a big believer of, just the world in general having a way of kind of balancing itself out, and trading is really no different. So perfect example was yesterday. I talked to you guys on stream about the tire situation. I had 2 screws that I ran over on Monday, and took it to a shop. They didn't have the tire ready, and they said that it was in an area where, I probably shouldn't patch it. And just out of a whim yesterday, once I finished my stream, I called a different tire shop, and they're like, send me a picture of the screw of where it's at. And he replied right away. He's like, I can plug each screw, or the hole, for $20 each. So it's $40. So I went from thinking I was going to spend $851 on 2 tires yesterday to $40. And I don't know how that really played into my mistakes on the trading platform, but I don't even know why that came in, but I'm sure I had a point there somewhere. But that was my situation yesterday with the tires, so I was happy about that. But yeah, I mean, I think the mistakes that we make on platforms and trading in general, the market will find a way to kind of balance itself out and have a mistake go in your favor. I'll be honest with you, I've had many times, because I'm copy trading, I've had many times where I take a setup, let's say it's an NQ long, and, I have my brackets come up and trade closes out, and I'm happy as a clam. I see the P&L, and I don't notice that the P&L is still moving. And I've had situations where one of my cash accounts did not close out for one reason or the other, and I'll be up where the other one was up $200. Let's say I make a 10-point winner on the NQ. The other one was up, like, I've had one for 1,000. I've had one for 1,600, but I know that could go the opposite direction on me just as easy. So you got to be extremely careful with that. I really do like this indicator that Mike, my Discord member, created for me, that shows the open P&L and the session P&L. It's slapping me in the face, so I know if there's anything open, that thing would still be ticking. So what's the anchor profile of your volume profile? All right, so my volume profile is a composite volume profile. On the higher time frames, I'm at 120 day, so pretty much like the 60, I should say probably like the 15 and 60 minute are on the 120, and then my 5 and 1 minute chart, they're on a 45 day volume composite on the profile. And my volume profile tool or indicator is from a vendor called Chart Spots. And it's $59. We talked about it yesterday. It works. It's clean. It's 10 times nicer, in my opinion, than the NinjaTrader one default that you get. The owner, the founder of Chart Spots, super cool guy. I've talked to him a few times, just kind of congratulating him. And he's like, hey, do you want to possibly affiliate yourself with us to get a commission on? And I'm like, absolutely not. I'm like, I will promote your stuff as much as I can, because I just think it works and it's great. So I'm all about easy and simple and just working. Tomorrow we got CPI. Yes, we do. Tomorrow we got a lot of stuff on, a lot of headlines. So we've got CPI pretty much all at 7:30. We've got PMI at 8:45 Central Time, and then we got University of Michigan sentiment at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Today, all we've got is U.S. existing home sales. That's what I came in right at expected, I guess. So right at the forecast, 4 million. So yeah, tomorrow we got some news. I feel like we haven't had really much news in the last week and a half. It's been pretty light. Can you share the link to that, please? Yeah, absolutely. Give me 1 second. And again, I think for $59, it's not. It's all the indicators are priced pretty fair, in my opinion. Copy. All right, links in the chat. How many accounts do I copy trade? Nordic MMA. So I've gone into this into detail a lot, but I like to explain it because I think it kind of gives you my methodology on my trading psychology when it comes to position and risk management. So what I do is I have 2 cash live accounts with NinjaTrader. So NinjaTrader is the platform that I'm trading on, and it's also the brokerage that I use to conduct my trades through my cash accounts. And I have 2. And the thinking there is, obviously scaling became very popular last year with Apex, and most of the firms offer you 3 to 5, and then Apex offers you 20 accounts. So my thought process there was, I'm like, okay, well, if I want to kind of scale in my own way with my own rules, if I can add another secondary cash account, I can take the exact same trades that I take on an everyday basis, so I don't need to change my position sizing or my targets, but now I can duplicate my winnings. Conversely, you can also duplicate your losings. So, having a strategy and having a high win rate is extremely important. But so what I have done is all my trades live stream start off on my main. So I just call it Rob Live Main, Rob Live Secondary. So those are my 2 live NinjaTrader accounts. But I've got Rob Live Main as my leader account. That's when I'm actually taking the trades in. And that is trade copying to my second NinjaTrader cash account. So currently today I'm up, obviously you see the screen, 1160. That's through all of the accounts. But on my cash today, I am currently up 165 and 160. So if I do quick math, that's 120. I'm sorry, 225. No, 3. Shit, what the hell's wrong with me? 370? 320, 325. Jesus, that was tough. So that's what I'm up on my cash this morning. And then I've got 5 funded accounts that I am also copy trading on here. So I've got 3 with funding ticks. I've got 1 with Tradeify, and I've got 1 with Take Profit Pro. Take Profit. They're all funded accounts. So 7 accounts total. And then what I also did was probably about 10 months ago, 11 months ago, I opened up a 3rd cash account with a firm called Ironbeam. IRONBEAM. Which is also a very discount margin brokerage, futures brokerage. You know, no knock against them, but their charting software is pretty bad. It's very basic. Like Align, I think they have a retracement tool, and that's pretty much it. It's very rudimentary. But the nice thing is that you can connect it to NinjaTrader and you can connect it to TradingView. So that fulfills if you want to scale. Now you could scale to 3 accounts, all with pretty decent margins, pretty low margins, and you could kind of do what you do with prop firms, but with your actual own money. So last month, maybe it wasn't last month, maybe it was I think the beginning of October, I just withdrew 4,500. Was it 4,500 or 4,800? 4,500 from my NinjaTrader account. And I've got just a mental system for when I take payouts. Pretty much both of those accounts way back in the day were funded with $5,000. I need one of my cash accounts, so there's about a $2,000 or $3,000 balance difference in them, just based on how my payouts have been coming out. But once I get to about a 10 to 11,000 on one of the accounts, I will take out 4,500 to 5,000 out of that account, which will bring it back down to pretty close to my base. And then I'll have another one that's on deck, which would be my secondary, which then gets switched over to my primary. And that'll be at like a $7,000 balance, and I just wait for them to all to go right back up. And that's just been, so I'm always keeping a $12,000 to $13,000 in my brokerage account between those 2 accounts, and that just seems to work. It gives you a nice little, I guess, a nice little goal to hit. Let me see here. What do they call it? Treasury. NinjaTrader Treasury, I think is what they call it. I probably spelled treasury wrong. Probably did. Treasury. No, I spelled it right. NinjaTrader Treasury. What the hell is it called? This is just going to come up with 1,000 because every day it gives me a daily statement. No. Could have swore they. Sorry, I know there's a lot of silence, but I'm looking for something I guess I don't really even need to look for. I give up. All right. So market and Q, nothing interesting. Let's take a look at the ES. So my worry here on the ES setup, let's take a look at that one again. Does not allow Canadians to create an account unless I'm from Ontario. Interesting. I didn't know that. What's so special about Ontario and not the rest of Canada? Is the composite profile $59 a month? No, it's $59 for the lifetime. It's for the license of the indicator. Super cheap, in my opinion. Free level 2 data with Iron Beam. You sure about that? The problem is that, yeah, I guess you could use it on the Dom because there's nothing else there that, let me pull it up. Nothing else there that, let me pull it, let me see what the Dom looks like if it's got level 2 for Iron Beam. Honestly didn't think so, but. And don't blast me when you see their platform. Their actual trading platform. It's very rudimentary. It's got bracket orders, but it leaves something to be desired. All right, let's do new widget. Let's do order book. Let's see what this does. Working. What am I on? The MES. All right, on the ES here. Well, this thing is still loading the Iron Beam. It's interesting that you said that it's got level 2 for free. Doesn't. All right, so on this ES setup, we're just gonna map it out because that's what I like to do. It's just, this is not pretty. I'm not gonna waste my. This is just nowhere here on the volume profile that I like. Low probability. Let me just see on the order book what's going on. That might help me. 6730s. Let's see what's happening there. No, nothing special. Nothing special at all. Yeah, I'm taking this off. Well, I'll leave it on here just so we can see some. If we do get a reaction or not. So the NQ, we're kind of sitting right now. So we do have an IB play that could be coming in. I'll be honest with you, I've kind of hit my goal on my cash account. I'm super happy with 325 bucks for the day on that. So what I'm gonna do, let's see if I can do this. I'm gonna go, because I would be very interested in an IB trade here this morning. But let's see if I take it from my Tradeify as, no, I'll do this. I'm gonna take my Tradeify as my leader account. I'll take the funded ticks and my Take Profit Pro. Make sure I'm doing this right. I don't want to be an idiot. Yes. So this would be that. All exact quantities. Cross order. What are we talking about? You know, exact quantities. Oh, that's an S. It's not a 5. Sorry, guys. I'm just talking to myself. But so what I'm doing here now is, since I am very happy with where my cash is at today, that's a great, for me, that's just a great number. Now, I'm going to switch this from my Rob Live main to my... Make sure that that's my Tradeify. Should have this labeled better. But I've got these stupid... it is my Tradeify. Okay. So I'm going to have my Tradeify as my primary. And then that'll copy trade to the 3 funded ticks and the Take Profit Pro. I like that idea. And then the ES, I'll do the same thing. Rob Live main, go into Tradeify. Tradeify FTDY. I don't know, something doesn't look right. Is that really my FTD? Yeah, funding ticks is FT0. Take Profit Pro. Yeah, the only thing else will be Tradeify. FTD, FYL. Does that sound right? I think it is. All right, so now I've taken my 2 cash accounts off of the books for today, so I'm in a profit, which is what I do. It's what I would normally do even if I'm off of stream, so I'm super happy with that. All right, so we got about 6 minutes to IB set, initial balance. Hopefully we could take a... Scott, there might be a prop firm that might offer level 2. I think you can pay for it as an option, but I don't know if anybody gives it to you. Is Iron Beam a prop firm? No, they're a brokerage. So they've got a trading platform and a brokerage, very similar to Ninja. And I say similar to Ninja because it'll let you take trades and it'll be a brokerage account, but nowhere near the trading platform of Ninja Trader. It's very, like I said, it's very, very basic. Very basic. All right, let me take a washroom break here. We got 5 minutes for IB initial high and low to be set. And I'll be very interested in, hopefully we can get a little bit of a pullback. I'd like to see this drop down just a little bit. Seems like every day the IB has just been bouncing right on the high, right on the candle at the time, and I've not been able to take a clean IB trade, and I would love to take one on stream. So give me a few minutes, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So we got 2 minutes to IB set, which would look something like that right there. I've got an indicator and I can't get the indicator to, I've got a IB indicator, but there's another indicator that's running that it doesn't like. I keep getting this brush error that plots the IB high and low for me. And then it's a free indicator on one of the ecosystems, but I've been looking for one that I could just pay for that will set the IB for me. But they're so ugly. Like I don't like the fact when they follow the price with the line, because then I get all these squiggly lines going up on my indicator. I just want a straight line at the IB high and low. But it's got a conflict with one of the indicators. But let's just be proactive here and let's map this guy out here. And let's see, the high on this one is at the 25,179.75. 79. And then the low, I believe, was right here. So it was. So I'll pop this guy in. Low on this one was 98.25. All right, so we've got IB set. This looks decent right here. 25,179.75 is the IB high. What I'm looking for, let me switch over. What I'm looking for on my IB play is just a simple footprint confirmation once we cross or tap into this to this line. And I am looking for a 15-point take profit and 15-point stop loss. Very high win rate when you combine it with the footprint confirmation down here. So I'd be looking for a red footprint candle once we tap or cross this IB line with positive delta. And the footprint confirmation will keep you out of some bad trades. But this has got a super high win rate. And the only reason, again, I keep saying it, but the only reason why I'm very interested in the IBs is that just a lot of volume gets stacked there. So if I take a look, well, actually right now the 170s. So that's stop losses. So a lot of stops right here at the 170. They're going to want to come for that. My P&L is going to, if we do enter into a trade here, my P&L is going to be a little bit less because remember I switched off my 2 cash accounts already. So those are up pretty nicely for the morning. TradeSaver has a good... Okay, thanks, Mike. Yeah, TradeSaver's got some awesome... I use his inside bar indicator for the mechanical strategies upstairs. Up 1,700 on 2 accounts. Nicely done, man. Loki, great job. Do you need the order flow from NinjaTrader for the composite profile? Damn, that's a good question. I don't think so. No. No, you do not. No, you would only need the order flow if your footprint and obviously depth of market level 2. So in the order for plus footprint chart. So you're able to use your footprint chart without the level 2 data, Joe, on NinjaTrader? Because I remember putting it on there because I have the lifetime license of NinjaTrader, so I was able to get the footprint chart. But I want to say after 2 days, maybe 3 days, I then got the error saying that I needed to add the level 2. So just putting it out there. If it's something recent that you did, I do remember running into that, and I had to get it to continue it. But it colors in the OR, so it's kind of yeah, I don't like that. Just want 2 lines, and I have an indicator. I'll see if I can throw it on the. I'll throw it on the chat. It worked great until I added another indicator, and I honestly can't remember now which indicator it was for me to kind of filter. That I was getting a brush error, which I think is a drawing tool that it seemed like it was using the same resource. All right, so the 170s, the NQ definitely wants. A lot of stops sitting right there. Right, smackaroonie right here. Natural stop loss area. Good liquidity for the IB. Let's see what happens. And then we've got this setup here at the 25,209. But again, I love the entry. I just don't have any stop. I don't have any take profits yet. I've not been able to find anything on there. So right now that's a C minus setup just because I don't have a clear TP. And the unfortunate part with this one is that I'm probably going to would have to use a dynamic TP, meaning that as price action comes up here, I'd be looking for a level on the 1 minute that leaves volume unbalanced and target that. So again, on stream, it's going to be very difficult to give you guys ample time to be able to possibly take that setup. But at least you know it going forward. All my setups, I like to have clear TP1, TP2, at least TP1 for sure. All right, let's see what happens here. So again, we're looking at down here on this footprint candle. We're looking for it to tap in or across that line, and then get a red footprint candle. Let's see, positive delta. That looks pretty good. That looked pretty good. Let's see here. Actually, it wasn't the greatest. 14 delta, not the best. I might get tagged on this one because they might want to go for these 200s, unfortunately. So I might get tagged on that one. Yeah, the 200s right here is a big area for them to go into. The footprint confirmation wasn't the greatest. But we'll see how this plays out. Yeah, and sellers are not really stepping in very strong yet. Maybe this could be a good break-even one if it gives me the chance. I'm on the 5 minute here. Should go drop down to the 1 minute, but yeah, they're probably gonna blast here to the 200s, to be honest with you. That's my feeling. Seller's not stepping in. I should get tagged out here. I deserve it. So we did get a footprint confirmation. It was just a little. It was a little short. It was, I think, 14 maybe. 14 contracts, but the confirmation was there. My rules were in. Go to the 200s. I know you want that. All right. So, took a loss on the IB. That's the one that I love. I mean, that's usually my highest win rate one. But again, there's that pocket at the 200s that they really wanted. So that was the only thing that I was really worried about here. But on the flip side, my cash accounts are still all green. So that's at least good risk management there. All right, now we'll take a look at this 25,209. That sucked. I've been talking up this IB trade for a week now. And seems like every day that I haven't taken it, you get the fucking great bounce. Sorry for that. You get a great bounce. But don't do it now. What did this tap into here? 190s. So this was a great footprint confirmation right here. This is a real nice one. I had 54 contracts, which is a little better than what I went in with. But we'll see here if we get a push. All right, sellers. I got this worry right here with this 200. They just want to make a really quick push right to the 200s. I think I'd rather save my bullets for this 25,209. All right, so now on the funded accounts, I'm down 360. My two cash accounts, I'm up 325. So that was a good move, at least. You know, once I hit my kind of a nice goal for the day, which has always been 300 bucks, I'm usually happy as a clam. But the IB setup looked pretty good. The footprint confirmation wasn't the greatest, but again, I just follow my rules and took an L on that one. Let's see what else is going on in the chat here. Morning, Nate. Sean, yeah, right now we're on the 5 minute on the NQ. I switch between the 1 and the 5 when I'm in the trades. 15 minute, usually early on in the session, just to kind of map out my setups. Don't do it now. So remember that footprint confirmation I told you, where was it? Right here. This was it. Let's see if that gives you the boost for the 15 points, which it probably will. Might have already given it to you. Where was my stop? Where do we get tagged out at? See, where did we get tagged out at? Did we get tagged out by the point on this one? Come on. Is that really a point that my stop got hit? I think it was, people. I think it was. You know what? Let me see. Let's go into here. So that was, oh no, we got, yeah, right there. We got tagged out to the points on the 15 points. So again, resting limit order, yes, at the IB, I would have had enough buffer on the 15 points, but this was where the footprint confirmation came in from. Man. That stunk. So the setup was, I guess, partially right. Just a bit unfortunate. But that's okay. Ah, 1 point. 1 point. There it goes. Oh, what just happened? Some kind of news just came out. That was an absolute... I mean, my book map went just absolutely ballistic. I don't see anything yet on the headlines. Book map just went absolutely ballistic. I mean, you saw the... Hopefully you saw the chart there. Okay, so now let's see the 209s. Okay, let's see. Let's jump to the 1 minute. I know one of our issues is trying to find a TP. This is a huge pocket of liquidity right now, the 200s. So the market's going to want to tap into that. And then it's the 15s. Shit, it's right next to my stop. 7 points. We're gonna have to bump up the stop here. We're gonna have to bump this up to like the 20s. 21. I think it was like a 7 or 8 point stop before that. I don't think it's gonna be enough. Shit, actually, it's got to be right up here. It's got to be at the 26. That's a terrible. So again, if you could see it on my volume profile, your best protection is right up here. But that just looks like, starts to look like a really ugly trade. And again, I got to identify an area to actually target, which I have not been able to do yet. So this will be tricky. This one's going to be a tricky one, guys. This might have to be one on the fly. Let's see, with the 209s. Wow, you got a lot of defense there. Between the 10s and the 15s, we got a pretty nice wall. So yeah, actually that stop might be decent enough. The only issue is you might go into some drawdown here, because this is the drawdown area up to like the 15s. So you might need to expect 5 points of drawdown on this trade if we can get into one here. The greatest scenario for me would be a tap into this volume cluster right here. and then get my footprint confirmation. And then identify a target. So right now, the 192s, it's kind of a big target, but that could be it. Let's see here. It's kind of preliminary, kind of rudimentary, I guess. Is that a word? Weird. All right, it's got to tap into the 200s. It's going to be interesting. The 200s are going to be very interesting here. Remember the 200s. Expecting hopefully maximum 5 points a draw down here on this trade. Because again, the line in the sand would be at the 215, entry at the 209. All right, they're tapping into volume here. So let's see if let's see what happens here. Okay, so now the 98s would be a great TP for right now. So just remember the 200 guys. This is the area that they're going to see you're going to see a big fight. But I'm actually going to switch this now to 198 as a TP. Right there. And we'll see how we'll see what happens here. Take profit on the NQ is at 25,198, and then second is 25,192. Entry 25,209.50. Bigger stop than I like. It's 12 points or 11, 10, and was it 11.5 points? Not bad. 25,221. That was a stop. Can't believe that I got tagged out of that IB trade by a point. Well, I'm not going to dwell on it. It's still positive on the cash, which is, I am happy. But I would like to get my funded accounts back into the green. We were sitting very nice and pretty on our first trade there. I think we're up 1,100. How are you adjusting your bracket orders? Yeah, I use ATM. I'm currently using an entry indicator from Affordable Indicators. So that handles my order entry. I might just do a video on it soon. I want to play around with it a little bit more, but they make switching between ATMs really, really nice. And they've got some really nice features as far as adjusting break evens, plus, most of them all have offsets that you can adjust to, but they just make it visually very, very pretty. So, and if you guys can see when I get into trades, it gives you a lot of info on those trades, and that's just the bare minimum. I can make those trade lines even longer with risk to reward. I mean, there's a lot that you can do. So visually, it looks pretty interesting. Pretty nice, I should say. All right, got a little slap here. Let's see what we've been looking at the NQ long enough. Let's just see really quickly what the ES. Man, the ES has got nothing. So the ES, our setup we've got identified is long at the 66.71. Targeting the 73 and the 75, and I got nothing to the upside right now on the ES, unfortunately. NQ to the downside, we've got a setup sitting at the 24,957, targeting the 967 with a stop at the 948. And then we still got the IB low at the 24,998, which again I could be interested in. Could sucker me into that. So we took an IB low here, which is why we're negative here this morning on the funded accounts, because, well, my stop got hit by a point. So a little unfortunate, then went straight to where my TP would have been at. Would have got more than 15 points on that IB low. But followed my rules, took the trade, conserved the capital from my cash account, which is up today. Let's see what that looks like on my... One reason or the other, I'm not able to open up the order book on Iron Beam to test that to test that level 2 information. Oh, you know what? Enter the symbol. Let's do ES Z25. Let's see, go. Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, I only see level 1 here. I don't see level 2. I only see level 1. Yeah, personally, I only see level 1 on Iron Beam, but again, I could be wrong. Let's see what the data looks like today. All right, this month. Did it sync? Does not sync. Resync. What's up with the TradeZilla? Why is it not syncing? Oh, it did sync. Dashboard. No, didn't pull up the trades from today. Starting. Come on, man. All right, so as a recap, we took a real nice scalp early on the NQ, which got me to about 1100 in profit. And then we took a IB high trade, took a short on the IB high and missed, got tagged out for my stop loss by a point. So that's the rundown for today. What's going on with... Why isn't this syncing up? Hate it when things don't work. Things should just work, especially when you're paying for something. Last import 955. Then you should have. All right, currently waiting on the setup on the NQ. I'm just farting around here on my journal. I don't know why it's not updating for today. kind of as an indication of this is a picture here of, well, not a picture, but this is my trade journal for my cash accounts for this month. It's been green every day, which is great. But the 23rd, which is today, it's just stuck in the sink, and it's not. It should say plus 325 or whatever minus commission, but it's still not. So I'm trying to figure that part out, which is really frustrating because I'm paying for this and it works all the time, but right now it's not. And it said that it sank at, all right, let's take a look. I'm talking too much. Let's get into a trade here. All right, so we're looking at the 25,209 as a possible short. Let's see what the story looks like here. Remember, you've got a really nice level of protection right here up into the 15s right there. So that would be my max allowable drawdown really on this trade. I mean, obviously I've got this here as a protection, but don't be surprised if you get a zero drawdown setup like we normally what I'm hopefully normally used to. Might have to accept a little bit of drawdown if I get into that trade there. Excuse me. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, a little coughing attack there. I think I got a question on my Rob, what was your stop on the IB? So I have it always set at 15 points as my stop on the IB. Nice little move there. Let's see what the NQ is doing on a bigger picture. I think we already mapped that out. 920, 930. I think I did. Did I map this out? It's 15 points, which again, if you would have just had a resting limit at your IB, you would have got your 15 points on that trade. I got my footprint confirmation, I think 3 points under the IB, so the buffer, my stop loss got hit by a point and then went right straight to my TP. So it was a little unfortunate, but that's what happens in trading sometimes. Take the good with the bad. I don't know if did I map this already here? I'll do it again. That looks ugly. No, thank you. No, thank you. All right, big, but some decent buyers pushing in there. 160s look like an area that they want to. They really haven't conducted much business besides here. The 160s could be an area for them to close out their auction there. It doesn't really concern me much with my setup right now. Unless the play is Yeah, very possible. The play could be balance this off and dump it off at the 160. That could be a play. That could be a play. Because above the 150, above the 115, I don't really see much for them wanting on unless they tag it now. They might tag the 160 now. Which in that scenario, I could then see them coming right back and rebalancing this. Yeah, Key. There's a few YouTube channels that that live stream their book map. That's pretty much all that they have on screen. You know, obviously you're gonna get a slight delay, but the overall picture is what you're looking for. So do they want the 160s or the 110s first? I think they didn't tap into the 200s. This to me looks more attractive right now to them than dumping it off at the 160s. I just don't feel like they did enough here at the 198s. I mean, it's close to the 200s. The 200s. But yeah, I would think that they would want to sweep the 200 and take some of this here and then sell it off right at the 160s. That makes the most sense to me, but we'll see. Apex ran another, so they started an 80% off last night, off the first month. You can use code TraderRob if you're interested in through Apex. Take Profit's got a good deal, 40% off. I'm actually super happy with funding ticks. I think funding ticks is 20% off if you're an existing customer, 35% off if you're a first-time customer with them. And do what you want, but I think their funded accounts are pretty damn great. Okay, so again, setup here looks like a short at the 25,209.50, targeting the 25,198. Max drawdown that I would like to see is tipping out at the 215, 216 area. It's a pretty good wall right there. And then the bigger picture, their dump off area is the 25,160. Nothing going on the ES, guys. There's just nothing here. Nothing there. I'm just gotta stay on the NQ for now. So 2 trades so far this morning. We took a nice zero drawdown scalp on the NQ early off. Was up about 1100 there, and then we took our IB high low trade. Got a footprint confirmation. Not the best one, but got one. And unfortunately, my stop got hit by a point just to see it go right straight to my TP. So that's the up on the cash accounts today and down 360 on the funded, which I'd like to turn that into some green. Hopefully we get a setup here. Coffee's dry. I just feel like if I go up for coffee, I might miss this one. Yeah, it's always one E-mini. Currently. I mean, I could scale up if I have to, but one is... And on the rare, we haven't come across one yet, but sometimes when I find 2 really strong entries within my... prior to my stop loss, I can always have that as a secondary position on a secondary footprint confirmation. It's a bit more rare, but my risk profile will max out at 2 E-minis. But as you guys have seen, 98% of all my trades have just been with 1. Now, if you're flirting with the micros, then I guess they are going to go after the 160s first. It's interesting. There's not much underneath the 160s. I mean, again, I think if they... There they go. That's what they needed to do. I really was hoping that they would go after this one first and then to displace down. So this weakens this just a little bit here. Now, then again, natural thing would be is for them to take the business they did right here, displace it right back here at the 210 to 215 area. That makes the most sense. I don't see much to the downside. As I say that, the 150s are starting to kind of play in. This just looks to me like the natural spot for them to now conduct their business or balance off their business. But you can see that was right to the tick. Well, I guess now that I'm looking at it, they did do three taps into volume here. So maybe it was enough. I don't know why they wouldn't have gone for the 200 though. That's where all of it's sitting at. Unless they balance it out at 200. Could be in short-term play. Book is pretty thin just in general. ES is doing nothing. Just dog shit right now. Think I have the chance to refill my coffee cup? I think we do. Okay, I'll be right back. Don't do anything hastily. NQ, wait for me, please. All right. Not much, huh? Let's see if the NQ... Found like a B minus setup down here. I'm just not too interested in it. Not interested in it. I'd like to see... If it's going to move out of this area, I'd like to see a straight movement out. I don't like this. Let's see what it's looking for. What is it looking for? Don't make much sense to me. This did. I just don't see what they could possibly be looking for on the downside right now. Just tapped into the 150. Both the ES and the NQ it's all sitting up here. Okay, so I'm looking at your question on the cross trading the NQ and the ES. Simple answer to your question is no, I don't do that. Once I'm locked into an instrument for a trade setup like what we were right here, that's the only thing I'm really looking at. But your thesis of the 3 to 5 points in the ES equating to 15 to 30 on the NQs is probably right. But I think money is money. If I can get 3 to 5 points on the ES, I'm happy as a clam. If I get 10 to 15 points on the NQ, I'm happy. And 1E mini, you're looking at 300 to 600 bucks. That's pretty good. On the ES, you're looking at 200 to 250. I just don't see much to the downside that the NQ would be interested in. Guess I could take this 160 line off. They already did their business there. Logical area is finishing off the 25-200 and then tapping into this. The only problem is that where do they displace it to? I don't see anything down here now. That they just ran that. They just took that. Don't know. The setup became a little bit more trickier now. Now that they took out the 25 160s before taking out that volume pocket that needed to get balanced out. Oh, I just read your comment, Key. That's funny. Yeah, that would make sense. I could see the point of control being here. I mean, that's pretty simple. Just by looking at the chart, you can figure it out right here. Actually, maybe right up here. It's ugly right now, guys. It's ugly. Well, okay, that would be a wonderful thought process, because that would make us all some money. I am being greedy with my 3-point on the ES. Wish I would have left it for a 2-point scalp. Would have been in and out. Yeah. So chump sauce on the ES. And this is not, I guess, should I make this a general statement? But typically on the ES, your 2-point targets are they won't make you sweat that much. General statement. I mean, depends on the setup. 3-point targets, they do make you sweat a little bit. They test you as a trader. And then 3 to 5 points, you know, I mean, depending again on the setups. I mean, you see me take 5-point targets when I see a very clear area that needs to be rebalanced. Those become easier. But it's that 2 to 3 point range that the ES will make you white knuckle it there for a little bit. All right, let's see the push here. Remember, they're going to the 200s, the 25 200s. That's going to be the first stop. And then they could either displace this. I don't see anywhere right now that they would want to displace it. Nothing clear yet. So they did exactly what I thought they would do, is tap into the 160s from up here. Well, I should say I thought that they would. To me, it would make more sense to at least have tapped into the 200s, which they almost did, but they. Well, I say that. Let me see if this did tap in. What's the high there? Yeah, so they were about 6 ticks short from a big pocket there. So about 1.5 points. They were short there. But my thought process was that they would want to take that, the 200s, and then take it down to the 160s. But it seemed like they did enough business here to displace to the 160s. Now my issue is, yeah, we conduct some business right here, but big picture, where do they dump it at? I just don't see anything right now. That could change once we get up there, but as of right now, I don't see anything. Thanks, Ski. I appreciate that. I would appreciate a like on the stream. I'm sharing all the knowledge I got with you guys. Ender. So on the higher time frame, like the 15 an hour chart, I'm on a 120 day on a volume composite profile. And on the 1 and the 5, I'm running it at 45 days. All right, let's see how this plays out. All right, so they did leave. This is their area that they would want to, if they can tap into here, they would want to displace into the 172s if they don't tap into it. Best case scenario would be as a nice little shot, play with the 200s, tap in, displace down to the 172, finish off their auction. Unless this gets tapped into right now, then that I gotta find a different pocket if they leave one. All right, let's see if TradeZilla is working here. For one reason or the other, it is not syncing today. I'll let that. All right, so 200s. 200s is the area that they're going to play with. So they didn't tap into the 172s, which is great. That would be, again, the thought process here. I don't want them to take the 200s down here. I want them to take this and then have a big piece of business to then throw back down to the 172s. Don't want to see this tap into the 172s at this point. I want to see it move up. Let's go. Okay. Let's see. Come on. A little push here. Come on. Don't stay stagnant here. Don't stay stagnant here. No. Do not take those 200s down to the 172. Come on. Don't do it. 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 Don't be enough. Don't be enough. Don't be enough. Ah, crap. No, they took my TP2. Please don't do it right here. So remember, one of the theories was to take the 200s, which was a lot of volume, and then they could have just displaced it right at the 25 172s. This wasn't enough. I would love to see them go into my entry and then take it down to the 172s. But the more this keeps bouncing through the TP1 and TP2, which is what it's doing, it's just all getting churned out and balanced out. I need to see a pretty strong move right here to our entry for me to be interested. Probably a B setup right now. Crap. Player just came in at the 25s. Fuck. Do you take out the 172s? This is all garbage. This is all garbage at that point. And yes, I guess you could say, why don't they just take the play from the 200s? That would be high risk because of the fact that there's so much sitting at the 209 to 215 area, which is where our entry's at. So that to me would have been high risk. Let's see. Did we get anything over here? Let's see the 200s. No. Yeah, right there. So that would have been your footprint confirmation at the 200s. Red footprint chart, 73 positive delta. It's most likely now gonna finish off its auction at the 172. I see it, guys. I mean, I see what the market's wanting to do. I'm just hoping it gives us an opportunity, and sometimes it's done what it needs to do to get to where it wants to go. There you go. There you go. There you go. On the end, on the micro, you got it. Did the micro hit the 209.50? Of course it did. That was a setup, guys. That was the setup. All right, now. Well, holy heck, did they stack the 200s now? The 25 210. Yeah. So hopefully you guys followed that commentary, because the commentary was to the T. And again, the theory behind my trading is pretty simple, and it's something that the market does every single day, constantly. And there's just no denying the market is just finding buyers and sellers, and once it does business, it needs to displace that business somewhere. So you're just finding the next big pocket that has been left unbalanced, meaning that there's hungry people there for business, and it just repeats itself constantly. It was a little unfortunate for me because there's a few points underneath my entry. But they have made oh, this is too big of a wall. You got 500 contracts sitting at the 210. That could possibly be a big trapperoonie right here. So, like I said, my thought process was, they could take the 200s, which is exactly what they did, the 25 200, and then take it down to the 25 172, which they did. Now they have come in extremely strong at the 210s. So they've got 500 contracts sitting there. it's starting now to seem very trappy. So, and I don't have a good area right now that they've left unbalanced for me to take from the 25-209s down. I was planning on pushing TP2 down and letting it run. Yeah, that would have been one where the that 172s just to me would have, that to me looked simple, which it was. Just a little unfortunate they didn't tap into it. And why didn't they? Why didn't they? So the ES and the NQ are both stacked at the exact same spots. So there's some big players right now that are establishing positions, and they've decided on the 210. So right at my entry, I don't know, maybe they're watching the live stream, and 67.65 on the ES. So here, which I guess you could say is kind of a stop loss area, but not that many contracts. That's a position. That's a big position. What the hell's going on with the 65s? Ain't shit there. There ain't shit there unless we get a big move to the downside. A straight move to the downside. Their angle here. I use Tradezilla, which if you would have asked me a day ago, I would have told you it's freaking awesome. But today, for some reason, it's not syncing up my Ninja Trader accounts. That's got me really upset. Manage accounts. Says synced at 10:02, which was 40 minutes ago. That was after all my trades. Okay, let's see. Resync now. It just gets stuck. Let's see. It's just stuck spinning a wheel at the starting. I don't know. That's a good call, Rob. Cody. Thanks. Wish I could have got into that call. So, just to replay it in my head, and obviously through you guys, you saw the footprint confirmation right when it crossed through the 200s, which could have been a play to go to the short for sure. I think on the micro, you hit the 209.50. At least that's what the chat's saying. On the E-mini, we did not. But my fear was increasing risk there because of the fact that there was so much sitting right here at my entry. Market's going a little nutty. What the heck? Okay, that was a nice movement. That was just a sweep. I mean, that's nothing clear for them. That's why just random trades will just destroy you. I don't even know how traders do that, but getting back to my thought process here. Yeah, I got a fantastic. I actually didn't see the footprint confirmation because I was looking at the chart, hoping that it would tap in. And then when I switched over to looking at the footprint confirmation, you got a fantastic one. The only issue with this one is that taking the entry down here, big possibility of it tapping into here, and then you're looking at probably needing about 15 points of stop. Obviously, this trade would have been beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, but as long as some people got it, that's okay. This here was garbage. All of this right here was just algo garbage. This right here will destroy you. Let me take a look at this ES. 65s, right? Is what I said. God, just stacked to the almost 1,000 contracts at the 65. I don't know. It feels a little trappy to me. To be honest with you. Let's see. Switch over to the ES and see what I'm seeing. This is pure garbage, guys, right there. I mean, don't mess in that. Unless you want to get wrecked. Maybe you could see maybe a little slight reaction right there, which we're tapping right into it. Nice little reaction to that area. Your next area on the ES will be right here, but that could be deadly. That could be deadly. That's where exactly at the top is the 65s. Feels very trappy to me. Very trappy. That's an area to get killed. I'm trying to see if there's any type of maybe footprint confirmation here that I could maybe take a really small scalp on, but we'll see. Tapping into some liquidity there. Nothing yet. Oh shit, I'm on the 15. Broop. Broop. Let's see if we see anything juicy here. Probably not to the 57s. We're not till right at the top of this box here. Will we see something juicy? Let's see. All right, we got one footprint confirmation right there. It's pretty decent. Pretty decent. take that back down to the 50s. Could take that down to the 50s. Let's see. Let's see what happens right here. Go a little bit higher. 57s would be juicy. So we got a decent footprint confirmation right here, but there's a pocket right here at the 57s that I'd rather them take this out right here, and then you could almost target the 50s. Let's see. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Unless they take the 50s out now. Sixties look like another area. Again, maybe that's a little trappy with the 65. Take this off here, make this a little cleaner. 57 is just an area that you could possibly take down to the 50s. But I want to see something solid. Let's see right here if we get something. Positive delta. Nope. To fight. Nope. Give me a red footprint candle here and I'd be kind of happy. Let's see. A lot of positive delta. Might close red though. They're fighting. Ah, crappers. All right, well, it got me out of a bad trade. That was a nice one. That would have been, if that would have closed red, I would have been in another trade. So a lot of contracts right here. This could be very trappy though, guys, because the 65s, you remember, is a power play. This is a big power play at the 65s. Put this right over here. Oh, I can take this one guy off. Move this guy to the 50s. Just so you guys can see it visually. What the hell is going to happen there? Let's go to the NQ. '65s have got a little over 1,000 contracts. So that is 4 times a big size. So huge volume participant. I'm looking at the NQ at the 209 area. That's stacked pretty good. Well, actually that lessened. That lessened. This area is not as strong as it was before. And we don't really have a good area to dump this stuff off at. That's the problem. I think the ES has got a better area to dump. Let's see. Again, to me, this looks trappy on the NQ and the ES, but we'll see. The 50s down here is, if they can do enough business, the 50s would be where they would want to take it. But I just don't want to get trapped here. Let's see. No footprint confirmation there. Negative delta. Be careful. That was pretty good. That was decent. But they still got a lot of contracts up there. It's still up to 1,000. So let me just see if I can get a little bounce here. Wouldn't mind them tapping right back into the 65s. Be extremely careful here. Okay, that just took care of everything there. Negative delta though. No footprint confirmation. Be very careful. Did you guys see this delta bar? 1,800 positive delta. Be very careful. Don't want to get trapped here. Nothing yet. Huge positions being taken up. Nothing yet. Haven't given me anything yet to play with. They just left some crumbs now. And remember, this would be the area that they would want to displace down to, the 50s. This would be a really shitty footprint confirmation, which we just got. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. It's negative. They've left some crumbs up here, just not enough for them to, I think, to re-tap into. I'm sure the NQ trade probably played out perfectly. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, yes is what I'm looking at right now. Yes just has a clear area where they could want to dump off some of this business, but I don't think they're going to give me an opportunity to get into here. I left some crumbs up there. At the 66, 67, they've got some crumbs, but let's see. Maybe they'll give us one more shot here. Maybe negative delta again. Come on. As you guys could see, the NQ setup would have played out really nice. I guess maybe I should have been on the NQ chart, but the ES to me looks like they've got a bigger area for them wanting to target. And I think they're probably going without me. Would love to get some kind of footprint confirmation here. Because to the upside, they don't got much. No, it's ugly. This is ugly right here. Ugly. Yeah, very high likelihood of the 747.50. So this gets tricky when I'm not getting any clear footprint confirmation. Just got to be very careful for a trappy. The sellers are stepping in, though. Sellers are stepping in. Are they defending the 65s? Will they defend it? I only see something at the 66, 67 for them to want to possibly go back into it, but with that much size, they gotta finish this off here at the 50s now. But they're not giving me any signal that I can take. Now they're going to give me a... No. This is interesting. This is interesting. Okay, maybe some logic to the 66, 67. I could get behind that with a nice footprint confirmation. I mean, your target is pretty ridiculous. I mean, I don't need all that. I definitely don't need all that. So above us, the 70. The 66, 67. They got some crumbs. The 70s is the next pocket. But with what they did here, the natural spot for them to dump it off is the 50s, the 67, 50s. I mean, that was just an absolutely huge position. So again, that NQ trade would have worked out real nice. I'd like to go back and see if there was a good footprint confirmation there. Guess I should have stayed on the NQ chart. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. What do we see here? Nothing yet. This is giving me the feeling, the inclination that they still want a little more. Or they could be setting people up for a huge trap. That's the eye on the prize for the market right now. Is that 67.50? They did a shit ton here, which again you could have taken a nice trade there off the 65 level. But again, I didn't get a confirmation. You would have. Actually, what was I going to give you? 2-3 points. So we're still doing a lot of business. Negative 100, 180. But again, I'm looking for a red footprint confirmation, a red footprint candle with positive delta. I'm looking for a lot of positive delta here. I'd have to see something convincing at the 66, 67 now. To me, it looks like the sellers, though, are stacking up to take out this 67.50. Let's see here what happens. Let's see. Okay, there's the push to the 67s. A lot of positive delta. Got to close red. Ah, almost got it. Did not close red. That one did. That one did. We could take possibly a little scalp here. Let's see. Let's see if this gets defended here. Just don't want to get trapped. Which I would have. I mean, after the 70s, after like the 71, 72, there is nothing for them to pick up. I mean, that could be a freaking huge move to the downside to the 67.50s. Guess if you're looking for a low risk to high reward trade, the closer you can get to the 70s to take down to the 50s would be just an absolute power play. That's if you got the stomach for that. And to be honest with you, this is where I love my footprint confirmations, because so far it's gotten me out of nothing but bad trades. Granted, we did get a footprint confirmation over there. That wasn't necessarily terrible, which we're pretty much right at that line still. Yeah, they are stepping in strong, man. The sellers are stepping in. If the market can give me any indication here of a confirmation, I'd be happy with a short. I'd be happy with a short. 72s is the last piece of, I mean, there's just not much more else above that. Well, we're going to extended stream right now. It's 11 o'clock here. 11:10. I'm using Ninja Trader. And my footprint chart is on the ES is on the 4 range, so equivalent to a point. And on the NQ, it's on the 20 range, which is equivalent to 5 points. Sellers are so strong. Just afraid of taking a short here and then them taking out the 70. I mean, if they were to take out the 70s, you've got an extremely, extremely good risk to reward trade. I mean, you could target almost anything to the downside, but the 67.50 would be the huge pot. But this is what they need. They need this to facilitate a quarter of what they did up here. It's killing me. I would love to see this final push, because this right here was still pretty trappy. Don't necessarily think that there's any other traps above us that they can set. I mean, shit, I guess they could do anything they want, but it just wouldn't make sense to me. Man, I feel like I've been in a boxing match and I haven't even taken a freaking swing yet. Hey Sam, welcome to the Signal group. I would recommend joining the Discord and then just send me a DM with your username, your YouTube username, and I'll get you all set up. I'll be right back. My pops is calling me. And most likely I'm going to have to jump off here in the next 5-10 minutes. Got my dad waiting to go to lunch. Anybody else in the chat having issues with Tradezilla syncing up your trades today? This is really bothering me. Anybody? I am getting this. Just this starting, it says synced, but it obviously did not sync the 23rd. Anybody else having that problem? I'd love to know. Otherwise, I'm going to be not a happy camper with their customer service right now. All right. Even though I don't know if I have the emotional mental fortitude right now to take this trade at the 71s or 70s. It's interesting to me still. Get rid of this. We don't need that. '67s. They've left unbalanced. As long as they don't tap into it. Oh, damn. That was a good footprint confirmation right there. That's the first one I've seen right here. It's the first one I've seen. Let's take a short. Let's take a short. Kind of sucks because they rebalanced my target. But the next target here would be the 63. The 63 would be their next target, in my opinion. That was the first footprint confirmation out of that entire sequence that I saw. Let's see what happens here. Now, obviously, the 70s, 70... all the way up to like the 73. I mean, your safest stop is right here, which I don't necessarily like. And you can get really aggressive with this target. See what happens. Crap, I'll be right back. Hopefully there's some profit. So, two scenarios here. One is they take this big pocket that's sitting. I feel like maybe the 74s is a fantastic stop, but that's getting to the 5.5 point range for me. This 63 is an area that to me just seems like a very interim place for them to balance out. The big prize would be the 6750s, and I know that looks ridiculous on this trade, but that's what I see. And hopefully this comes to a conclusion soon, because my pops is upstairs waiting for me. I value my lunches with my dad. It's taking its time, that's for sure. More than likely, we just see a sweep, quick sweep. Make the most sense right there. Could have been the sweep in the opposite direction now, though, but would have missed that one by like a tick or two, maybe a tick. I don't think it was enough of the sweep, though. I don't think it was enough. Again, they got a lot of juicy stuff to play with right here, so you know, unfortunately, I might have to go through some sweat. But to me, the 63s would be the spot. If they're going to take it, they would take it now. $500 up 600 on this trade. Let's go. Just give me that final couple ticks, man. Give me the final couple ticks. Don't make me sweat it. Right? Just take it. There you go. There you go. All right, all done. Got back into the green for the day. I am up 325 cash. Funded accounts now are up at 390. All right. I felt like that was a boxing match, man. So before I leave you guys, the 6750s, just remember that number, could possibly sweep the 6770s, 71, 72, and then displace the 6750s. If you haven't liked the stream, please just give me a quick thumbs up. I don't ask for much, and I really appreciate it. I'm dropping as much knowledge as I can with you guys, and doing this every single day, live 8:30 right at the market open. If you are thinking about, Apex is running a sale. They came out with yesterday 80%. Use code TraderRob. Take profits 40% off. That's one of the firms that I use as well. Code TraderRob there, and then most importantly, just hit the like, and hopefully you guys see you guys tomorrow. Be patient out there, guys. You gotta. I know it's a big move right here, but that's what I see. And they did a shit ton of business right there, so that's the next natural spot. All right, take care, everybody.